right, ZinZin. So you have a really solid group here, and I think generally looking at your images, and I'm like I've said, I'm teaching a few sections of this class, and the fashion students, there's definitely a less experience that goes into the images, right? You guys have taken one photo class, and other students are in like their third semester of photo classes. But in this shoot, that is not apparent at all. This is a really clean shoot that you've put together. So I'm really impressed with what you've done here. I think it's as high a quality, if not higher quality, than a lot of photo students that we're seeing right now. So congratulations on that jump in the level of your work overall. So you have three images. This is your commercial shoot, fashion shoot. And the idea is that all three of these images would be shown at the same time, and you want the clear representation of the product throughout them, with the neutrality of the background so that the product clearly comes forward. And you want each shot in the same location with the same model. There's supposed to be a change of outfit, but here it makes sense that you have the same outfit. You want them to be very different from one another. And you for sure have accomplished that in these images. These are all very different from one another. The theme is about this bag that you have, and you have your subject wearing black. You have the background very neutral with whites and grays and blacks. So that red bag and her red lips stand out. They're very clearly the subject in this. So thematically and as far as selling something, I think you've put together something really strong. The composition of your first image is really straightforward. Let's blow that up. Straightforward as your subject is in front of this pillar. They're looking straight at the camera. The light is great on them, that really soft light that's coming across them. You have a pretty symmetrical image happening here. Of your three images, I find this to be the least interesting, the least dynamic image that you have. This image, I think, is very dynamic. So here you have your subject as though they've come down the stairs, walking away from us. The stairs create this beautiful design in the background. They add depth to the image. They add a layering to the image. Your subject's moving forward. We have the reflection of the plants and the steps in the background and the steps over here, which add another dimension. If I were to critique this in any way, I would say I'd want to bring that subject out a little bit more from the background. And that would either happen by having light that's coming across the back and giving more shape to the backside of her, or opening up this background a little bit so that we're able to have just more separation between the subject and background as far as the tonality goes. And this is your third image, and this I think is your strongest image overall, is your subject is walking through. And what is this? I don't know where this is. This could be like right in front of the BART station. It's very plain, but it also has all these geometric features that we see here and here that pull everything together. So we have this really geometric background, the tonality between the top where it's in the shadow, then you have this open shade here, and then the squares again are down on the ground, as well as the reflection of them on the ground is just coming together really nicely. In Photoshop, I'd get rid of this little area over her head. I find that a little bit of a distraction. The light on her is really beautiful. It looks like in these images you've added maybe a layer of grain to your images. You're at a really low ISO, but if I look close, there's a lot of texture on the skin. So I'm wondering if you added something to this, or if you did a lot of post-production work on these images and that added that grain. That's the only critique I would have for this, besides cropping that out right there, is there's this texture that shouldn't be on her skin. We can see that in all of your images. See that here as well. So I'm not sure what that is, and I would avoid that if that is something that you're adding. If you are working in post-production and making big edits to these, that could also be where that's coming from. So I would encourage you to try to avoid that in all of your images, but this is by far the strongest work that you've turned in, so congratulations.